Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right, a little baseball talk. I know everyone loves to hear about baseball. Right? Get it? Get the joke? Baseball. It's a joke, right? Anyways. All right, so this video is from Jomboy Media. And the topic is this idea of a 6-inning minimum for starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. It's already given me a headache, but I'll let Jomboy kind of set everything up for us. Here we go.
MLB is discussing a radical 6-inning minimum for starting pitchers. This isn't your typical breakdown video, but this just came out. Figured I'm free. I'm sitting here. Let's discuss it very quickly for anyone that's interested. So if you go to the source article, which is Jesse Rogers, ESPN staff, it talks about MLB wanting to change some rules. They've been changing rules a lot, to their credit, to make the game better, because it got to a pretty stale and bad place, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others, resulting in rule changes in 2017, 2018, 2019, going into 2021, that area. It's like, oh, this isn't good. There's not a lot of action, not a lot of balls in play. So they've made some drastic rule changes already. I, as a baseball enthusiast, have loved the rules. This is what they're saying.
Okay. I know this is not really the topic of the video, but I need his credentials. Someone pull his credentials, man. I need someone to throw a 70-mile-an-hour fastball at him, and I need him to hit it. Like, hit it good. Hit it solid enough, right? Maybe he's older, he's out of shape or whatever. He's saying he's an enthusiast. I need to see that in writing somewhere. I need that, like, actually documented for me. Because, in my opinion, of the rule changes, like, yo, if, you know, things like, oh, there's too many strikeouts, or there's not enough home runs, or whatever, like, then it's usually you go down to the scouts and maybe the way the league and the GMs are making teams, how they're making teams up and shit like that. You usually look at that. Instead, you guys like, we'll change rules to make sure that these things happen. We want the game to be sped up. It's like, well, if you're a human being and you know like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball is going to come your direction, if you want to take some time to think about it, like, maybe it's a curveball, maybe it's a let me think about it for a second, and then I'll step in the box and be ready. I want my players to be ready for every little pitch that happens. That is what we call professional, right? Even in gaming, if there's one of the players or like their computer's lagging or something like that, they stop the game and restart it. Right? They don't just let them just, like, because these are professionals. If fans don't show up, then, well, it's like, I don't know what to say. Maybe the game is not as important anymore. I think if we were getting the same production that we're getting in the fucking 90s, right, with every guy has like 40 home runs and 120 RBIs and batting 320 and all that shit, I don't think people would. I still think baseball would have like died out a bit. It definitely would have dropped. Do you agree with that, Ant?
You said it wouldn't or wouldn't?
I think it would. Like, it would drop off still. Maybe not as drastic, but it would still drop off because, let's be real, the NFL does exciting shit. The NBA does exciting shit. The UFC does exciting shit. Like, they do. As far as, like, the dumb brain version of entertainment for sports, right? Someone getting knocked out, someone getting dunked on or crossed over, someone catching a 90-yard touchdown. The way the games are played is a lot more exciting than the way baseball is. Baseball's more like game within the game type shit.
Yeah, very niche.
Yes,
well,
it is what it is.
For people who has the IQ of a bat and a ball.
Stop it. Anyways,
watch me hit this ball with your stick.
Well, that's because you don't know. That's because you never played the sport. You don't really know. That's why.
Give him a round of applause. Nigga, that ain't no fucking sport.
If I threw 90 miles an hour at your face, you'd be like, "Holy shit!" You'd shit your fucking pants. And then you'd be like, "Oh, I get it now."
I pull out my 38 and start blasting. You'll shit your fucking pants. They could throw a ball at 90 miles an hour at my face. They got blasted right away.
Listen, Canadians like hockey, so they don't even count in this discussion, anyways.
Yeah, but I ain't Canadian, dog. I ain't white. You keep saying Canadian like you're referring to white people, nigga. I'm a South American. I ain't fucking playing no hockey.
Anyways,
You see
he
me on
plays hockey
fucking
over there in lacrosse and shit like that. We're talking about
fucking
baseball.
nigga over here fucking talking about balls and
Anyways, with American sports, like those sports, they just aesthetically look more exciting, right? Even to a non-sports fan, if you showed them footage of one exciting play from one sport and one exciting play from another sport, one would have much more of an impact for people. So it is what it is.
nigga, wasn't baseball made to keep women out of the war or some shit like that?
What? Never mind.
Baseball's made for bitches, man.
Anyways, it takes extreme skill and hand-eye coordination to be successful at the game of baseball.
Now
I
we
think
know why
more
niggas.
so in
Now
a
we
lot
know
of
why
sports.
niggas aren't very good at baseball, yo. They can't shoot. They can't hit a fucking ball with a bat.
Yeah, Hank Aaron,
Explains a
Barry
lot
Bonds,
over
Willie
here, man.
Mays. Yeah, I know they can't do it. Anyways,
Nigga dumb fucking yeah. They got one out of like fucking of a million guy.
anyways.
What is that, like 3 people you name? Like the rest are white guy.
Oh,
Like
three
what's
people I
3?
named are like the greatest players of all time. Ken Griffey Jr., fucking Bob Gibson. Like I keep naming them.
Ken Griffey was on fucking steroids, and then that nigga went and bleached himself to look like the white people.
That's Sosa, bro.
Yeah, that's Sammy Sosa. See how he's like wrecked? Let's move on.
Sosa, bro.
We may now move on. Anyways, so yeah, baseball I think was going to take a hit anyways, but there used to be a charm about baseball that would pull people in, a mystique about it. That shit
It's called racism.
fucking gone.
Saying this,
It's called racism. What?
He said it's called racist.
Racism? What? When A-Rod, Juan Gonzalez, like, shut up.
you forgot when they were like, yo, niggas can't come out here and hit no ball. Fuck you talking about, boy? Get in the dugout over there. Shine some shoes.
Anyways, the 1920s are over. Anyways,
That was the best times, guy. The stadiums were jam packed. Fucking let niggas in the game. The stadiums are like fucking empty, like fucking crack houses.
They are now.
we know he's wrong, but we'll just move on.
There's more going on in a crack house than in a baseball stadium. You're right. My bad. I apologize.
Maybe today.
Yeah, today.
Not in the good old days. Of like,
Yeah, because there were no blacks in the good old days. It was just white people.
there was blacks in the good old days.
Yeah, they were in the
named them all.
Chinese, man. And the fucking you didn't understand.
Whatever. Baseball was at its peak in the fucking late 90s. Right?
Dude, everything was at its peak in the fucking 90s. Did you forget that?
No. The other sports were not there where baseball was. Baseball was there in the late 90s. They were there. And then they fucked it up they fucked it up in a right way. They called out all the fucking cheaters, which the other sports will not do.
Yeah.
Sorry, NFL's not going to do that. Basketball's not going to do that. It is what it is.
Yeah, but dude, who gives a fuck if they take performance enhancing shit? That's what makes the game fucking interesting and better.
No, that's the point. Like, no, it doesn't make the sport interesting or better. It makes it worse.
Nigga, if I'm paying you money, I want to see somebody hit a ball out of the park and wreck somebody's car.
People can do that without steroids.
Without steroids, that's the misconception.
People were doing that and have been doing that without steroids.
Look, man, I don't care if they could do it with steroids or without steroids. The more of them doing it, the more entertaining.
Well, that's what we're saying.
That's what they're trying to do, and that's what they've been doing. There's more home runs than ever. And the game fucking sucks ass. There's more home runs than ever.
That's crazy.
I just think because it's the money in the other sports and what they fucking could probably offer.
I think it's a lot to do with culturally, and it's just like obvious logic of like, hey, catch ball, run, right, in football, or dribble ball, shoot it into the fucking one hoop thing there, versus
I think
the intricacies of what baseball is, like actually.
I think the culture of basketball might draw in more because of the type of people that fucking go there. You got all these fucking rappers, movie stars, everybody on the fucking court. It's like a fucking zoo. He's like, yeah, I go to a basketball game, I see all these fucking celebrities here. Go to a baseball game, who you seeing really?
There
Nobody.
used to be fucking all these fucking people used to go to
And there's a
baseball
lot
games.
of- The NFL's
Yeah,
the
but
same way.
I'm
The
I'm
NFL's the
saying
same way.
now though. I'm saying now. Like before they had presidents at baseball games, fucking big stars amongst the
Yes,
crowd. Yeah,
Yankee
but now
Stadium used
ain't
to be
nobody.
fucking rocking. It ain't
Yeah,
that
but
anymore.
now it's like who the fuck is going and who's in the fucking crowd. You have everybody at the fucking basketball game.
Well,
Then
there's
second
no.
is like
Where's the
football.
stars at? There's no big giant stars or dynasties that are happening in the sport anymore. Like, not really. There's no like narrative outside of the game itself that used to be there with baseball.
They used to be
Then
there
the
with a
big story
lot of
happened.
fucking shit.
The big story of steroids happened, and that's what like killed it at the same time. It made it the biggest sport on the planet, and then killed it as made it the smallest sport.
Flew
Like
too close to the sun.
relatively quickly. Like that giant story of like who's cheating and who's not made it the biggest story like in sports. And then
Yo,
once it's over, it goes down like, well, you guys are a bunch of cheaters, so it goes down to the bottom of the fucking like totem pole. It does. It
yeah,
is what it
but
is.
I guarantee you, most of the people like from back in the days were on some sort of juice or some performance enhancing shit before
Yes,
all
but
these
that's the same as
regulations came
every
out.
other sport. That's the same as every other sport.
Because
Literally the same.
in high school, believe it or not, the men's in the fucking tent after ninth grade, and everybody got like their growth spurt in the summer coming back to the 10th grade. Motherfuckers were all on fucking steroids, juicing. You see a bunch of 15-year-olds fucking 6'3", 6'6", fucking look like a fucking Ford F-150 fucking pickup truck.
Well, yeah, but like the idea, like here's the thing with like in America at least, the idea of it is like somehow they don't like correlate that mentally. They can't logically pick up the like wait a minute, wouldn't like if these guys are doing it to hit a stick with a ball, as you put it, wouldn't they do that with other things like maybe their lives are on the line, like in UFC or boxing? Or like, oh, my face can get punched and I lose brain cells. I could be permanently damaged. Why wouldn't I fucking like get an edge over the other guy? So like obviously it's been happening in every other sport. It's just baseball made it a thing for them.
Before UFC, it was Pride, and all the Pride guys were fucking juiced the fuck up on roids.
Yeah.
Remember Kevin Randleman?
Yes.
Ain't nobody fucking tell me that nigga didn't juice, guy. That nigga looked like fucking the Incredible Mini Hulk.
Yeah, a lot of guys really. Vitor Belfort. There's a lot of guys, and especially like in the early UFC days, that are fucking yoked. Like
Pride. It was Pride.
Well, I'm saying,
They were all
well,
fighting.
guys from Pride came over to UFC, and a lot of those
Yeah, they
guys
came
were
over-
fucking
they
juicing
came
like
over-
early on. So even in UFC,
Yeah. Even in the
relatively
early
to
days of UFC, they were still fucking juicing because they weren't really doing any fucking real tests.
yes, that is true. It's my opinion they still don't do like legitimate enough
No.
tests.
When the UFC like really blew up, then the fucking trade commission, all those fucking people started coming in.
Well, once they got that Disney money, once they got the Disney money from ESPN, like, okay.
Oh, well, anything with fucking Disney, that's it. Fucking ruined right there, man. Fucking Disney.
I think everyone can agree Disney is one of the
Fucking
creepiest companies
Disney.
on the planet, probably. Most likely.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I will never work for a company that Amazon owns, Disney owns, or Walmart owns. If I hear we're a subsidiary of any of those companies, I'm like, yo, I'm out of here, nigga.
It is, yeah.
I go, I ain't working for no dirty evil corporation. Fuck all of y'all.
Well, the thing, well, at least in America, like you're there no matter what. Like someone is owned by someone that's owned by someone that's owned by one of those fucking creepy corporations.
But that's what I was about to say. But I'm like, yo, you're fucking retarded because sometimes they set up so much shell fucking company, you don't even really fucking know if they own them.
Yeah, true.
They offset a fucking company with a completely different fucking operation, and then make that company own everything and have them fucking secretly fucking offshore all their fucking money.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll say this: if you're like, especially like, I think this is most like obvious in the film industry, to where you have a company that seems like they're related to another, but they actually are. They're actually owned by Disney and Warner Brothers, Paramount / Viacom or something like
Yeah.
that. It's fucking. It's kind of in your face.
They're all owned by BlackRock, Vanguard. I
Maybe,
forgot
maybe
the
not.
other three.
But
No, they are. They fucking proved it. They're owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, and then at the top of it, it's the Rothschilds,
we're going full on
Rockefeller.
conspiracy. Okay.
No, they've proved all this shit. It's not a conspiracy, dog. Right now, I'm not fucking talking no conspiracy shit, but they've literally proved it. Like, even the fucking, when it comes to the media, it's basically three companies at the top.
5 or 6.
I would say on a cursory level,
It
it's
used to be
obvious.
5. It used to be 5 or 6, but a lot of them fucking got bought out by the other because fucking the people died off and the other companies just fucking bought them over because it's better to just fucking buy over the company now and fucking just conglomerate everything into one stronghold and control everything. It's like, yeah, why are we fucking fighting? We could just come together and just fucking control everything in one go.
Yeah, and they can officially call it not a monopoly. If it's like,
Yeah.
well, Disney over here, Warner Brothers over here, Viacom / Paramount over here, Comcast over here, like on and so forth. General Electric over here. Like they can just do that. It is what it is. All right, I need to move on with this video because we're going somewhere else. Anyways, like regardless, like baseball, I think is you could say he loves the rule changes. It hasn't helped. I don't think. Like I think we were talking about the NBA, Anthony, and we were like, either way, like these kids are watching highlights. Like if they're watching games, they're watching highlights of the game. They're not actually watching games. They're not like diehard Bulls fans. They're more like diehard Steph Curry fans, or diehard LeBron fans, or diehard Giannis
nigga,
fans.
yeah.
Right?
You're literally saying what that guy on that podcast said.
MLB doesn't have that dynamic.
Who? He's literally saying what that guy's name. Who's the guy that brought the gun to the locker room?
Gilbert
Arenas.
Yeah, I literally just watched a video today with Gilbert Arenas saying that exact same shit word for word. They're not fucking any NBA fucking team fans or fan of the NBA. They're a Steph Curry fan and a LeBron hating fan.
Yeah, you're right though. Not well.
Kind of true.
But he was like, I don't know. Gilbert's funny, bro. Gilbert's trying to say that about like the Jordan fans.
I didn't see Gil's video about this, but that sentiment I think is true of how people watch the NBA. So like even like their viewership is kind of. I mean, like here's the thing: stars in baseball, right? No one knows what they do. Someone can go outside and just grab a basketball and dribble it around like, okay, let me try to be like Kyrie Irving. And you realize how like kind of difficult it is. How often can some of these kids see like 90 miles an hour or throw 90 miles an hour to be like, know what that sensation feels like? To be like, oh shit. Like this guy throws 90, but he's like a master at what he's doing. Like to like actually relate to the athlete. Basketball, you can just look at a hoop from half court and be like, how the fuck is Steph Curry shooting this shit? How the fuck did that happen? Like there's some sort of relation, or a football, or like how to catch a football, or be shifty, be fucking Tyreek Hill. Like look how fast he is. Like you can't just like make that up, right? In baseball, it's so hard to translate that to like the average person, in my opinion, to where it's like where do you get the craftsmanship? How do you understand the craftsmanship of baseball itself? Right? Maybe they did it cooler back in the day, like watching Pedro's curveball or Pedro's changeup, and like, oh shit, that looks fucking cool. Like, how do you make a ball move like that? And kids go in the backyard and try to practice that.
Who was the baseball player that ran up the wall?
Ricky Anderson? Ken Griffey Jr.?
No, man. He was also a football player. He was fucking...
Oh, Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson.
Yeah, that fucking nigga, yo, holy shit.
Yeah, he's a freak athlete.
I used to try to train in high school to fucking have fucking arms like that guy. And then everybody started buying guns, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is the point of fucking working out? I'm like, you out here fucking working out for 3-5 hours, That nigga got a 45. You run out there, swing on him.
If Debo was a real person, it'd be Bo Jackson. Like, he's a freak of nature. He's just, like, bigger and stronger than everyone. It is what it is. Like, some people are just... Even if he's on roids, he's still actually just built different, actually. That's why that
So
guy's, like, special.
I don't think roids would have any effect on people like that, man.
I mean, he could be. I'm not saying he is. I haven't heard anything about that. But if it's possible. But either way, the way he's built is, like... That's one-of-one type shit, bro. Like, good luck. Even if you take all the steroids in the world, good luck being or looking like that guy. So he's different. He's in his own fucking class type of shit. Those one-of-one athletes. Yoel Romero in the UFC, like, those are, like, one-of-one type of human beings, man.
Yoel Marrero, then they said he was some fucking experiment with the Cuban government. They were fucking running tests on fucking him.
I've heard when he was on Rogan's podcast, he talked about like what they were doing training wise in fucking Cuba, and it was like almost like with Major League Baseball teams in the U.S., they go over, they offshore fucking camps and shit. They get these kids to like to build them up and train them into being like the next super athlete. They try to find like the best ones and all that shit. What they did with Cuba was kind of the same thing with their own citizenry, with sports. They like to use their own citizens, and found like, okay, can we train these guys into being the super savages of super savages? Yeah, like who knows what they did? If they'd use chemicals to do all this shit, if it was legit, it's just a hard training like I don't know what they did exactly.
Yeah,
It's all
I'll tell you one thing: the people in South America already have a natural edge. Because they have to work physically hard and fucking endure some insane shit.
Oh yeah, but there's also chemicals that exist where there's no regulations. Just like when you go to Mexico and people, like, this is a real thing. People do eat some of their like food and test positive or something. That happens. I'm very sure that happens. But at the same time, you know, a lot of these guys are probably just cheating and using that as an excuse.
Yeah, one of the sickest sprinter fucking I knew came from fucking Brazil. And the reason fucking why is because, this guy had to run miles every day. And he used to eat like a lot of plantain, which was fucking iron. Then he came here, he was fucking killing every sport. But then when he started eating the Canadian food, he ended up getting sick. And then he had to go back to South America because they told him, they're like, yo, if you can't keep eating your culture food, you're going to have some serious health fucking issues, which he was already having. And since his body was used to a high intake of iron from all the plantain that he used to eat, and he can't get it over here. And they were trying to like supplementing with pills, but he was still having problems. He had to fucking go back. But I was like, yo, that nigga was like a fucking jet going around a track. And it's like, yo, our teacher said, like, what's this shit? What's that thing like you have to get over as an athlete? Like there's some sort of hurdle when you reach a point.
Hurdles.
That once you get... It's like an endurance thing. You could go for so long, but then once people hit the wall, that's it for them.
Yeah.
A plateau.
Yeah, that shit didn't fucking exist for him. It's like his body was always fucking past the fucking plateau.
Oh man. I have some baseball stories, but okay. We'll leave it out for that.
And like they had him on like every fucking sports team, and he was just fucking good. But he liked fucking soccer.
It is alright. I actually have to finish this fucking video. Alright, here we go. So yeah, baseball. Change all the rules you fucking want. I think the sport was already going downhill. All he did was taint everything that happened before this. Right? Because the rule changes, now records look different. Like compared to like if the rules were like this, maybe this guy would have hit more home runs or this guy would have had more strikeouts as a pitcher. Like you can't tell, his ERA might have been lower or something like that, right? Like you don't, like, because you change rules, you change history. So baseball is basically fucking itself for no fucking reason. Because I think the sport itself was already being looked down upon. You didn't have enough. You have the fucking Dynasty Yankees, bro. Like they died out in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, and that's when this game started dying out.
Exactly. So like you don't have those like
I would
major
say
stars.
the late 2000s was when we lost like the last handful of them.
Yeah, like you had A-Rod as like a story that would like keep baseball kind of boosted, and Barry Bonds that would keep baseball kind of boosted. But let's be real, man. It was kind of like dying out anyway.
When did Derek Jeter leave? Like 2014, 2015?
Yeah, 2014.
But it was
All right,
already
so-
like over there, like for him.
No, but what I'm saying is like once Jeter left, it's like the last ember burnt out.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. So he can say I support the rules and all that shit all he wants. It is what it is, Jomboy. You need to like look in the mirror and actually look at that. But for now, let's hear him explain, I guess, the new rules or a new possible rule. It doesn't sound realistic, but you know, he'll go over it. Here we go.
Changes already. I, as a baseball enthusiast, have loved the rules. This is what they're saying here. They're saying the commissioner's office wants starting pitchers to spend more time on the mound. I agree with that. Give me heavyweight bouts. Give me Pedro versus
How do you regulate
Clemens.
that?
Give me Mark.
Yo, you could say Clemens all you want. How do you actually regulate someone to be Roger Clemens?
It has to become organic, cultivated. It's not something you can just
Exactly.
make happen, bro.
You can't make
How
a
did you
rule.
get him in the first place? That'd be the question I'd ask. How did you get him in the first place?
Exactly. He wasn't, if I had to guess, he wasn't always on fucking roids. So, like, not every player before, 2000, whatever, 8, before the Mitchell report, right? 2008 or 9?
Yeah.
How did every player before that go past 6 innings? They weren't all on fucking steroids unless you're saying they were. And they actually had long careers, right? They had 12-year careers, 13-year careers, 15, 16-year careers, a lot of these guys. That kind of staying consistent with their velocities as well. Until very late in their career, then they dropped off a bit, but still, they were relatively consistent. So like, how are these guys throwing all these innings and keep going? They weren't all on steroids, so explain it to me then. They won't look into that. Instead, they'll say, "Oh, we'll make a 6-inning minimum. That's how we'll do it." These guys are crybabies. Make them work 6 innings, period. But let's hear.
With the money those guys make, they should never fucking complain about a thing.
I agree.
Well, they have the room to do it. They have the room to do it, though. They do.
I got a contract for $300 million. Let me cry about something like a little bitch.
I
If
mean,
you give me $300 million, I'd be out there. I wouldn't say a fucking word.
It goes deeper than that shit because they're being told how to do that shit. They're being told, just if you want to use that word, you want to use that term, they're being babied.
you got to think about it. Let's say you're making $300 million, but your job is a physical activity. Now, let's say you get hurt doing this physical activity, right?
My job is a physical activity, and I make fucking $30 an hour.
But let's say you get hurt doing that physical activity. Let's say what you do generates millions of dollars, which it probably does. Let's be honest, it probably generates billions. Like doing labor work, it really does. But you're not looked at like a fucking pro athlete, right? So
Nope.
So then these guys, who on the surface are worth millions and millions and millions of dollars as an individual, right? Even on the surface, they're looked at as that. They're getting hurt doing the thing they're getting paid to do. So when they get hurt, you're supposed to take care of them, as far as these guys are concerned, right? So they got to pay for their surgeries, their medical, fucking all that shit, right? Physicals, rehab, all that shit, right? They pay for all that shit.
Doesn't their insurance cover? Yeah, but doesn't their insurance cover all that shit?
No, they are. What's the word, Anthony? They're fucking. They're assets. They're assets to a fucking team, which is not just baseball, right? It's marketing. It's this. It's that. It's all over the fucking place. The Yankees aren't just the Yankees. It's the Yankees Bar and Grill. It's the Yankees fucking. It's all different fucking like avenues.
Judges' chambers.
They
And the Yankees in particular even have their own goddamn TV channel.
exactly. Actually, that's a good point. The Yes Channel. Exactly.
Yeah, that was like what, channel 65, 6, 7.
Whatever the fuck Spectrum put them at. Whatever.
I don't know. They probably got shuffled around a lot, but point is they have their own goddamn TV channel and it's in the double digits.
Yes, that is
It's not like Fox major, but it's still a pretty major network.
What's it called? Like the Yankees Entertainment Station or some shit like that?
Yeah, I think it is Yankees Entertainment.
But they host the Nets, right? They host, they do like MLS fucking games on there and all, because they play MLS games in Yankee State. Like, it's not just Yankees, bro. It's a fucking giant conglomerate of fucking businesses like pushed together. So,
Who owns the Yankees? Like, who owns all that shit?
is it Steinbrenner still? Like the Steinbrenner family? Yeah.
Fucking Jews.
Probably with a bunch of like, fucking hedge fund fucking guys owning percentages of it or something, possibly. Maybe it's just family.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
And then the secret investors nobody know about.
Well, yeah. I don't know with the Yankees. The Yankees might be straight up like Steinbrenner's family, like split amongst them.
No,
right?
You know what's funny? Patrick Bet David owns a piece too.
Of the Yankees?
Of course, that fucking
Yeah.
does.
Oh, okay. So it is, publicly traded, fucking whatever the fuck, typical corporation shit. Got it. I thought it'd be like maybe like pieces are split up between the Steinbrenners, like his kids or whatever.
Well, they all died. Hank died.
Psh, I didn't fucking know. That's where baseball's at.
Yes,
Didn't fucking know. It is what it is. But yeah. Baseball is franchises. Well, I think the idea of franchises in baseball, that's like a dead thing. I think the Yankees still pull in a decent amount, right? Even when I watch Braves, like once in a while, when I watch a fucking Braves game, it seems like there's like a core fan base somewhat, but it's not the same. Really not the same what it used to be, in my opinion.
No.
Especially not the Yankees. Yankees just be fucking just alcoholics in the bleachers, just like fuck you, Cleveland, fuck the Indians, or whatever they're called now,
Boston.
Guardians or whatever now. But they're like fuck you, Indians, fuck you,
I think it
fucking
is
Red
Guardians.
Sox.
I don't fucking know.
It used to be
I think it's
savages.
Guardians.
It used to be
I could be
savages
wrong.
everywhere, basically in that stadium. Savages all over the place. All
Yeah, shit used to get real fucking bloody.
well, the business class like hides from them in the fucking close seats.
Yeah, up in those like box seats where you get like fucking food served to you.
At the owners' boxes, and also like real close, like close. Grant, that used to be like a lot of like just normal fans who like spent a bunch of money on just one ticket instead of buying a bunch of tickets. They just get one really nice ticket for one big game or something like that. That was cool, man. Now it's gone. Whatever. Let's let
Yeah,
John
it used to
Boy.
be a whole event.
Yeah. Let's let John Boy continue here.
Bouts. Give me Pedro versus Clemens.
You're not getting that.
Give me marquee names. These two guys are going to be sharing the same space, trading places on the same mound, back and forth, going at it. They're going to face, it's
You're not
Pedro
getting that.
versus A-Rod in the first inning, and there's going to be 3 rounds of Pedro versus A-Rod, and they got to mix and match and make changes and make adjustments in the game within the game.
That's a good point.
Yes.
That's a good point, I think. Not really his point, but like the point, the idea of like seeing a top-notch pitcher versus a top-notch hitter, right? Getting like several at bats, several duels, right, throughout a game is like I think that's important, man. I remember fucking like when like A-Rod was about to come to the bat, I'd stop what I was doing and like watch the fucking TV. I'd stop and stare at the TV and watch what he's doing. Me is because of someone who wanted to play baseball, but also like the whole like majestic nature of it was like crazy. Or Barry Bonds at bat, even though he's like, became Super Hulk. Either way, it's like it was still like crazy to see those at bats. It was like it's like fucking Kobe getting ISO'd on LeBron or something, or LeBron getting ISO'd on Kobe. It's like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Let's see it. last 2 minutes. Let's see this shit. I don't know. That's. It feels like it's gone. Like who are we looking for? Random guy who throws 100 like every other fucking person, versus Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, or someone, Aaron Judge. Like who? What are we looking for? I don't know. Greg Maddux versus this guy, Roger Clemens versus this guy. Like, it used to be like a big deal. Now it's like whatever. Who are these nameless guys who throw 100 miles an hour in their fucking sleep and then break their arms the next week? Like, who are these people? We don't get familiar with them, but I think that's part of the mystique that went missing. It's just that idea of like matchups. I think that's kind of missing, if I had to guess. But all right, here we go.
That's baseball. That's the baseball I love. What's happened is teams get smart. They realize pitchers stink the third time through. Instead of training pitchers to be better the third time through, they've just kind of nixed that and being like, only the best of the best get to face batters 3 times. The rest will just take them out and go to the bullpen. It's a winning.
What? Is that the case, Anthony?
What do you say again? What do you say?
Is that the case that like they realize, okay, third time seeing a pitcher, right? Let's
Yes.
say that's the thing. Okay, so if a pitcher sees
By
a guy,
the 6th inning, by the 5th, 6th inning, we want you out of the game, and we want the rando 100-mile-an-hour thrower to take over every inning.
Jesus Christ.
And relief pitchers are relatively cheap. You blow them out, and you have 5 more to replace them with. That's literally the strategy. That is literally the strategy.
Crazy. What about grit? Like, what about the pitchers? Like, fuck you ain't taking this ball from me right now. I'm pitching this inning.
Well, analytics. If you really focus on analytics, all analytics really are good at is run prevention.
Oh my God.
From how do you like when the shift was a thing, that was the biggest, like, I'd say, asset for analytics was defensive positioning based on what's it called,
What?
what's the word
What?
for tendencies, hitters tendencies, pull happy,
Okay. Yeah.
and basically like you would need 9 David Ortiz's where like this guy can put the bat, you can't play a shift on this guy, he'll wreck you. If you play a guy over the third, he'll start hitting shit that way.
Oh my
Like
God.
if you try to like abandon the left side of the field, he will embarrass you. Like imagine if Wade Boggs or Tony Gwynn they would hit 450 when that shift shit was going on. Well, they wouldn't be shifted. They would almost have to bait these guys into shifting them.
God.
And then, I'm sorry, so Jordan, like the prevailing thought is pitchers throw harder, so that's why averages are down and strikeouts are up. I just disagree with that. I fundamentally disagree with that notion.
I do as well.
I fundamentally think that's a lazy way of looking at the sport.
Yes, I agree. 100% agree.
Just like I find it to be an abomination that you banned the shift.
That's crazy, right?
Those
That's
two things are
crazy.
lockstep for me. Like that, the fact that I have to do that for you that's like insulting my intelligence. I would be if I was a hitter and that shit. I would be embarrassed.
Yes. I
I'd
mean,
be like, go
good.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, to me, in my mind, when I hear a shift band, to me, that's the same as saying like a miles per hour band on pitchers.
Yeah.
Like, if you throw over 95, we can't have you because we need the hitters to have a fair chance. So you can't throw over 95. It's like, what?
Well, I saw this one
That's the
comment.
same
Hold
thing
up.
in my head.
Let me see if I can find a comment. I saw this one comment where they're like, "Yo, we're gonna at some point we're gonna need MLB to either move the mound back or lower it or whatever they need to do." Because guys can't hit these pitches, and it's ruining the game.
That's their
Remember?
fault. Why are you
Yeah, it
picking
is
the
their
four
fault.
hitters from every fucking college and
I'll
trying to make them
never
into one
forget.
lineup? Why are we
I'll
doing that?
never forget when you said that shit. You were like, it's not that you're Nostradamus, it's that you're just like, you know more about this shit than most people. Where you were like, yo, I can't wait till, like you said this like a year ago. Like, oh, they're trying to tell us like, yeah, we're gonna get more action. We're gonna get more hits. All this, and it didn't happen. And you were saying like, this shit is not going to work. This is not gonna solve the problem. Like you were, as soon as you heard the rule change, you and James were like, "This is not going to work."
Well, we've played some serious baseball or been around some serious baseball. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It's they're trying they're what are they? They're fucking what are these computer games? Dota or some shit like that. It's Dota trying to be fucking Call of Duty. It's like no, don't do that. Let Dota be Dota, man. Let them play their little strategy games. That's what they do. Let them play their strat games. Pure,
Yeah.
almost pure strategy, right? With obviously with some physical ability and skill and shit like that. But like a lot of it is intelligence. Like people are using their minds to get by on things. They're guessing pitches. They're guessing like where the guy will hit the ball. Like allow that to be in the game. Allow intelligence to fucking win because that's the name of the fucking game. Baseball is a fucking hustle, man. If you can hustle better than the other fucking guy, guess what? You're better than him. Straight up.
So
Like
I found a comment.
it's crazy.
I found a comment. Mounds need to be lowered, moved back, or both. The only way to make baseball a viable TV product in today's world is for the balls to be in play far more than it is now. No one wants to watch a pitcher and play catch with the catcher. The ball
No,
needs to
no,
be
no, no,
hit.
no. Let me debunk that immediately. If you lower the mounds, right, that means it's coming from a lower trajectory, right? The pitchers.
Yeah.
These uppercut swings are going to strike out
Yeah,
more
they're gonna strike out even more.
until you replace them with guys who adjust and can hit that shit. Like that's what's gonna happen. Guess what? The mounds we have now are raised from what they were before, from years ago. They raised the mounds. Thus, you could see more like people's like, oh, well, they raise the mound like this, so your swings. These old guys like Ted Williams talk about their swing being level. That doesn't work anymore. You need more of an uppercut now to hit the higher trajectory baseball. They change. Like I'm telling you, bro. If you switch back, if you lower the fucking mound again, these guys are gonna fucking struggle. They're going to struggle, straight up. You're not gonna see the ball the right way anymore. You're going to be swinging under everything, thinking that the ball is coming from a higher plane. Like they're like these guys don't understand how to like level their swing out to like, hey man, I have 2 strikes on me. I don't want to strike out, so let me put the ball in play. They don't do that, right? So what are they? So they're going to keep their uppercut. Thus, if you lower the mounds, these guys are going to be striking out doubly, maybe not doubly, but a lot more than they are right now. They're not adjusted to it, like straight up. Only certain guys have, like I seen like kind of adjust. They're going to struggle if they lower the fucking mounds. Straight up, curveballs are going to be like perceptive wise, are to come from a higher plane. Perceptive wise, not actually, right? But perception wise, it's going to look like it's coming from a higher spot and then dropping to a lower spot. It's going to look like that in their eyes. They're going to get fucked by it, like straight up. So like
It seems like basic physics to me.
These have to be non-baseball people talking about this shit, straight up. Like not like I don't play the fucking game. People saying shit like that. Lower the mounds. Like what? First of all, it's not even just like the curveballs and trajectory and all that shit. It's also the ball's going to appear to be faster. You dummies. It's going to appear faster because it's going to look like they're closer to you because the mound's lower. So perception-wise, it's always going to feel like it's faster. So when they fucking recruit and draft all these guys that throw 100 miles an hour, it's going to look faster. Like, so, like, what are we talking about? You're not helping it. That's not helping anything. Sorry.
I'll say it again. I'm not a baseball guy these days. I wasn't really too deep into like the mechanics of the sport even back when I did follow it. But this is just basic physics. Like, do I have to go around and start clubbing people over the head with my science encyclopedia from fucking 1999
Well,
that I still have?
what's the shortest distance between 2 points? A straight line, right?
Line.
So
Yeah.
what gets closer to a straight line? Being higher up in the air or lower to the ground? Like, come
Lower.
on. So, like, what's their perception going to be like? It's going to feel like it's faster. These guys are already struggling with it, and they already have these big uppercuts, and you're lowering them out, which is going to, like, you have to change their one-way swings. Their one-way uppercut swings, like, Carl Schwarber's going to fucking strike out times 2. Like, times 2 he's going to strike out.
Yeah, and then just stay within the fucking strike zone. Pitchers would also have to adjust the angle that they end up launching at.
Yes, which is going to fuck more arms up. That's going to fuck more arms up because they're going to be like, oh, my release point, when do I release it? Meanwhile, they're not looking at their actual core mechanics. They're just looking at release points. Thus, they're going to fuck their arms up even more. Like, guys, if it's already too late, man, because they already changed all these rules and things around. But if you just left it the way it was and, like, make people adjust to it instead of, like, adjusting the rules for them. Instead of doing that, like, you're fucking your future up, basically. Because someone would have adjusted to the way things are and became a fucking savage and became, like, that superstar fucking player you're looking for. I'm sorry Bryce Harper didn't work out. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Major League Baseball. Bryce Harper and Mike Trout didn't work out the way you wanted to. I'm sorry. But you need to fucking move on. It is what it is. Move on from them.
Yes, me, there's too much fucking money in baseball anyway.
Well, now yeah. Especially, yeah. Considering what they're actually worth, or like socially, what they're socially worth. Yeah, you're right. They make way too much money.
And I'm gonna say this about just like major sports in general. There's too much fucking money in it. It's not good. It's not good.
Major League Soccer should sue the MLB for making too much money. They should sue them. Like, yo, how come our soccer players, which no one else is watching either, how come we're not getting paid the same as Major League Baseball? They should sue them, bro.
The WNBA should sue them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, how much do those WNBA players even make?
They average like 250,000 a player.
If we asked America right now, Anthony, would you rather see Caitlin Clark with the ball in her hands with 10 seconds left, or Bryce Harper with the bases loaded and you're down by 3? I think they're taking Caitlin Clark.
Say, Jordan? No, I got you. You know what they're not going to say that. They're going to be like, "Who's Bryce Harper?"
Who the fuck is this Clark girl either, for that matter?
Oh, Joe,
they know Clark.
You're not plugged in, Joe. You're not plugged in, bro.
No, they know Clark.
They know her, man.
All right, that one's on me.
All right, let's continue with this, and then I'll make the overall point. I'll let Jomboy speak for a minute, then I'll go over my overall point in regards to this fucking stupid rule, or the idea of the rule. Here we go.
Strategy. No one's negating that. It's a winning strategy. It works out. It adds up. Thought process is it the best entertainment? Is it the most fun product? So if you go to the beginning of what baseball is trying to do is they want pitchers to go deeper in the games. They want them to spend less time on the operating room, undergoing surgery on their arms. So this is what an MLB official
Why isn't that just a part of...
interested in increasing...
I'm sorry for pausing again. Why isn't that just a part of how it happened? Like, hey, man, you threw your heart out every pitch and you blew your fucking arm out. That's on you. That's a part of the fucking game. If you would have toned it down a bit, maybe just throw like maybe 93, 94 instead of 100 every fucking pitch, maybe you'd be around longer. Like that's a part of the game.
Yeah.
Yo, what happened?
Don't worry about it. That's what we want from you. We want you to throw as hard as you can.
Well,
they're way too attached to just raw speed as a statistic.
Yeah, and it's like and all their guidelines are stupid. Innings pitched, amount of pitches thrown. It's like a pitch from this guy and a pitch from that guy are not equal. They don't equal the same amount of torque, stress, etc., etc.
Yes.
So you don't even know how to quantify who's at risk, who's not, and therefore it's a one fit all rule.
Exactly.
That's arbitrary and is not really based around science.
Oh my god, exactly. Why not do the science behind it and then give it all, like, do not make rules about it, but hand off what you found out from your research to every team. Like, yo, when guys do this, they get hurt, or if they maybe this, like, max effort every fucking pitch like this, maybe they get hurt like that. Whatever they come up with, right? Pass around a notice to the league and say, like, yo, it's kind of up to your own, like, if you fuck up, that's on you type of shit. It's kind of like a quarterback, right? Like, some quarterback who refuses to fucking slide, right? Slide so you don't hurt yourself. But if you don't do that and you get fucking, speared by fucking Ray Lewis, like, it's on you at that point.
Well, this is where like I've tried to like hone in on that a couple times. Tell you like this is where they do that when it's time to pay them. They don't tell you shit while you're playing for them, but once your rights are up and it's time to pay you, you're damaged goods to everybody.
That's teams though. I need the league to be like, yo, here's
Who does
the
the
risk.
League work for? Who does the league work for?
Yeah, yes, I understand that, but the league itself as a product should be like, yo, here's what's going on here. Like,
even when the league mandates something, it's because the owners agree to it. They need 23. That's what Samson says. They need 23 teams to agree to something in order to make it so.
that's crazy itself, but whatever.
It has no autonomy. It has a fake autonomy. Adam Silver has a fake autonomy. Roger Goodell has a fake autonomy. Rob Manfred they all have fake autonomy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
No teeth whatsoever.
I would agree with that. But still, you guys can do the research and fucking pass it.
Sometimes owners are fucking stupid.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes,
a lot of times.
Sometimes, most of the time, Even.
I mean, yeah, underline my point a little more.
Yeah.
Unreal. All right, here we go.
All right.
The amount of action in the game.
I'm out of here for the night, so
I
can't
see you, buddy.
much more.
All right, dude.
Take care.
See you later, Joe. All right, here we go. Oh, good.
I will give you my science encyclopedia, Jordan. You need to start beating people over the head with it. Concuss them. All right, good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, man. It's apparently what the NFL needed. They need some actual concussions to like on paper concussions for them to be like, all right, maybe we should
pay these players.
Yeah, maybe they are suffering health downfalls after their careers are.
They need a Will Smith too.
Exactly. They need that African to go in and fix shit up. All right, there we go.
Play is the most exciting version of the game. We are interested in restoring the prominence of starting pitcher. Yes, I just said that. And reducing the prevalence of pitching injuries.
Doesn't make sense.
So what's happened is
that's words, Jomboy. You know that.
Was a term.
He kind of works for the MLB. Let's be honest about those.
Or late 2017.
He made his fucking.
Maybe late 2017. And it was like, instead of having your starting pitcher just have him go one time through. Maybe that's 2 innings, maybe that's 3, maybe it's just 1 inning to get the best hitters out, and then switch it to another guy and use a lot of arms. And the thought that you wanted starters to go deep in the games kind of became erased, and teams said, we don't care about that at all. We actually want to pull them early, bring in another guy, because we'd rather not let the hitters get comfortable and see the same pitcher 3 times.
I don't think that. Sorry, I don't think that. That may be the narrative. I don't think that. I think it's about injuries. I think it's actually about blowing guys' arms out. They're worried about that shit. Sort of like, all right, hey man, this guy threw 100 pitches in 6 innings or 5 innings, or maybe 90 or 80, even 80. Maybe Steven Strasburg. Oh, he threw 80 pitches in 5 innings. Let's get him out of here. He's done.
So let me ask you this: is there any correlation to arm injuries going up as more and more teams stopped employing scouting?
Fuck.
And certain,
I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
who the fuck knows what kind of
I
what
could believe
kind
it.
of developmental
I
things were
mean,
going on beforehand, and because it's like there's two things that have changed in the last 25 years: hitters striking out and the way they pursue an at bat,
yep,
and the way pitchers pitch games.
yep.
In both instances, starting pitching and relief pitching, where relief pitching seems to be more dominant, but it really isn't because it's so fecal. It's like, yeah, these pitchers are amazing. It's just, so why are so many of them hurt out of the league within 3 to 5 years?
Oh man.
And
Fuck.
it's they're becoming the NFL with fucking running backs and
Yeah.
middle linebackers and shit.
Yeah. Bro, that makes me think of Steven fucking Strasburg, man. That guy, man, like when he came out of what was he, San Diego State or something like that?
Yeah,
And they
San
were
Diego
like,
State.
bro, this guy's just throwing fucking
Gas,
97 plus every pitch. Like
yeah.
every fastball is. Right? He's throwing 97 plus every fastball. And that guy petered out so quickly for his career. Like he got injured early, came back, pitched a little again. I think he won a World Series, right, with the Nationals.
Yeah.
But he was like kind of here or there. Like, he wasn't really like there.
He was never an ace, really. When he first got into the scene, he's like, oh, he's on his way. But he never really became that.
I mean, did these guys watch for like Verlander? And like, yo, what's Verlander doing to keep himself on the fucking field? That Strasburg isn't like. Was that considered?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what does that guy have who's still in the league, and these other guys don't have.
I, I, I mean, there was a thing with like Pedro, right? Pedro was a flamethrower when he first came up, right?
Yeah.
And then he had to learn how to pace himself. To where he'd be like, yeah, all right, here's 93, 94. But then if I want to strike you out, I'll throw 97. And you're not fucking touching this. I'll throw 97 and like blow it past you. Pause. It's like Strasburg was just like, I'm just gonna throw everything I have at you all at once, every pitch, everything, every time.
That's what
Type
I
of
think
thing.
about the Pittsburgh kid.
The who?
The Pittsburgh kid.
Oh yeah, the LSU fucking player,
Yeah, Paul Means.
Skeens, yeah.
He started the All-Star game this year.
Does he still play? I haven't paid attention, man. Has he been?
He's still
Like,
pitching. Yeah, they took him out of a no-hitter, like in the seventh inning. Just throwing a no-hitter, they took him out of the game.
what do you have? 100 pitches? Why is that
I don't
an
even know.
arbitrary number like that too? It's so.
That's what I'm saying. It's a one-size-fits-all kind of rule.
That's so fucking weird. All right, we're gonna hear Jomboy's explanation, or like his opinion in regards to like how you should, like you shouldn't do this, and probably how you should do it if you did want to do it. I think is where he's going. Here we go.
I think we've shifted out of that, especially with all the other changes the league has made, and with seeing how hard it is to have that many guys on a pitching staff, and using that many pitchers every
a penalty,
series
though.
makes you dip into your minor leagues, makes the
Jomboy,
shuttle up and
that's
down
a penalty.
Of players, so that's tough. So they're looking to get out of that. I think teams right now want every pitcher to go 6 innings, but and pitchers surely are trying to go 6 innings. They want to go deep into games. They don't want to get pulled. It's the front office and the analytics that are pulling them. But I think in the last 5 years, we haven't like.
But they get hurt too. They
developing
actually do
starters
get
to do
hurt.
this.
That's
I think
what it looks
gonna
like.
change because teams are now
Right?
saying we need a starting staff that can eat
They
innings.
do get hurt.
It's better to do that. So I do think everyone is in agreement on getting to those end results. Now, how you get to those
Is it
end
a mental
results
thing, Jomboy? What are you
is where
saying?
you're going to have a lot of fights. And the radical idea of a 6-inning minimum, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think the Players Association will ever allow that to happen because it's like,
Yeah,
what if he's hurt?
well, it's stupid.
Now we got to fake injuries. He's got to pitch through it. All that stuff. That's the most headliney one. So They use that. We're going to use that because it gets you in, and then we can talk about what's actually going on. This is my favorite one that we've discussed on our podcast, Talking Baseball a lot. A double hook for the DH, meaning if you take your starting pitcher out, you lose the DH. And now the new pitcher has to hit, which means you now have to go to your bench and use your bench more to pinch hit.
I understand the idea, but it's still like you don't need to do that. It's not needed, but I understand the idea.
That's why you're like in favor of a reset.
Well, this is in favor of like if you like sneeze at the quarterback, you get a fucking roughing the quarterback call, right? To entice more big passing plays, right? Where he gets to sit in the pocket longer and throw deeper passes and all that shit, right? It entices more offense. This is enticing more innings pitched by pitchers, right? Like, oh, we'll keep you in the game longer to keep the pitcher from hitting, right? And it's like, okay, I understand, but I don't like, dude, you had it okay the way it was. The way it was okay already. It's the way you guys, from recruiting players, scouting players, aka, the way you
develop.
Develop, like looking at players, like, oh, this guy throws 100 miles an hour, holy shit. But he looks like if he throws more than 3 innings, he's gonna put his arm at risk. So thus, maybe he's a closer and not a starter. Thus, you can pick out starters who throw like maybe 92 and can maintain for 7+ innings. Depending on whether or not they get fucking rocked or if they have a bad game or not, or if they have a good game, you can keep them longer, right? Maybe a complete game, maybe 8 innings or something like that. Okay, cool. But they're not looking at it that way. They're looking at it in this weird robotic algorithm type of way. And god dang it, that's fucking scary in any sport. In any sport, that's scary. But baseball's already like, we'll be the experiment. They already volunteered. Baseball already volunteered. We'll be the experiment. We'll fuck around with rules and shit like that. And I guess Jomboy's all for it. This guy's all for it, man. I want to throw 70 miles an hour at him and see if he can hit it. Here we go.
He can.
Kind of like, it's an American League game. And then once you take your starting pitcher
contact,
out,
I'm sure.
it becomes a old National League game with you use your bench.
Don't be so sure.
What they could do is they could say, if you take your pitcher out before the 6th inning, you lose the DH, and now you have to play the rest of the game, mixing and matching from your bench, maybe letting
I used to
your
test
pitcher
high
just
school
take an
kids
at
locally,
bat
like
because
pitchers.
it's a
I used to
blowout
rock
or
their
it's 2
shit.
outs and no one on.
You're not that good at
That
pitches.
I'm interested in. It brings a lot more strategy into play, and the value of going 6 innings is going to be a lot more. And the money might shift to pitchers who can go 6 innings, rather than pitchers who can come in
It's supposed to
for
be at
2 innings, throw as hard as they can, throw the nastiest slider they can, and get those outs in 2 innings because.
God damn it, Jomboy. It's about the it's Kevin Costner, love of the game, bro. It's got to be the old wily veteran who's like, yeah, I can go 8 innings, no problem. Like, he's fired up to do that shit, man. Fuck this bullshit of, Jesus Christ, what do we call it? My money demands that I go 6 innings. Fuck that, man. It's supposed to be like a pitcher's pride. Like, yo. When I saw fucking Spencer Strider, right? Now he got his tits rocked against the fucking Phillies. But I saw the grit on his face, like, fuck you, I'm going 1 more inning. Fuck you. He's fucking arguing with the coaches, he's arguing with his teammates. He's like, I'm pitching more innings. Fuck you. That shit is supposed to be what's going on in baseball, man. We don't fucking see that, bro. That's a rarity, I think.
Well, dude, there was this one guy that he pitches for the White Sox.
Yeah.
And he was looked at the number 1 pitcher to get traded, and he ended up not getting traded because he told teams, if you're trading for me, you have to give me a new contract or I won't pitch in the playoffs.
What? Wait. No, wait. He'll pitch, but not in the playoffs. He'll pitch in the regular season, but not the playoffs.
If you don't invest in him and give him a new contract,
That's great. That's crazy.
Because he just came back from Tommy John. That was his reasoning. He just came back from Tommy John.
Okay.
He's like, yo, I'm not gonna blow my arm out if you're not gonna invest in me.
Okay, I relatively understand that for personal reasons.
Well, that's
I
what I'm saying.
understand
Like that. Yeah, well,
not for a gritty baseball player, bro. Like, then fuck off. But yo, we're not signing. Like, fuck off then.
that's what everybody told him. Everybody told him, fuck off. He didn't get traded.
Well, fuck, because I don't want to take the side of the creepy fucking owners either. But it's like at the same time, it's like fuck off, dude. You can't just demand that. Sorry. I understand, like, yo, well, like, if you did Tommy John, right, and you have half a season left, but your team is in the shitter, it's like, if you're a dumbass if you fucking make him pitch. Make him do workouts on this, like, mandatory, like, workouts to, like, make sure his arms, like, what's it called, rehab and all that shit. Mandatory shit like that, but, like, make him pitch in the regular season for what? For ticket sales or something? What would be the point? If he's not pitching in the playoffs, what would be the point? And that's an actual question.
I don't know the point. His point is to get paid.
Yeah, but like if they're not going to make the playoffs, what would be the point of making him pitch in the regular season when you know he just came off Tommy John? What would be the point of that? Like actually, like, what would be the point of that? Like why not let him rest? And like, yo, we'll come back next year. We'll sign this guy or we'll re-sign that guy, and we'll take a run at it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know the story. But all right, whatever. All right, here we go.
That is leading to a lot of injuries and a lot of operations, is training these guys to just come in and unleash as fast as possible and throw the nastiest breaking pitches as possible and strike everyone out for 2 innings. That's all we need. That's leading to a lot of injuries.
Maybe they're not doing it right
don't get
because
paid well, then they get injured.
I'm sorry. Who's throwing a Pedro changeup nowadays? Who's throwing a Yohan Santana? Oh, he got hurt a lot.
Circle change.
But no one's throwing Pedro's fucking changeup.
Nah.
No one's throwing Randy Johnson's slider. No one's throwing Kurt Schilling or Roger Clemens splitter.
Yeah.
Where are these pitches at that we're like we're going all for broke. We're throwing these pitches as hard as we can. Like, where's the actual results of that? No, these guys don't have movement like those guys did, but they threw way more innings. It's like, where's the results at? So I don't understand Jomboy's logic in regards to that. Are their sliders nastier? I haven't seen it. Is their curveballs nastier? Do they have a Josh Beckett curveball in this league somewhere? I don't think so. Or a Pedro curveball? I don't think so. Like, so where are these pitches at that are so nasty that they're blown their fucking arms out with? Where are they? Those guys threw just as hard as these guys do. Maybe they pace themselves, right? Maybe Josh Beckett's like, let me throw 93, 94, and then wrap it up to like 98 when I need to. Where's Kerry Wood's fucking curveball at in this league? Where is it? So, like, what are we talking about, Jomboy? These guys are pulling their arms out there trying to throw these sliders. Like, what sliders? Where? I'm sure there's some nasty sliders in the league right now. But, like, are they as nasty as these other guys' sliders, bro? Did they have a John Smoltz fucking slider here? Where is it? They have a Randy Johnson slider. Where is it? Where is it at? I don't understand that. So, but whatever. Here we go.
And
Good God.
Cheap pitchers. So like the Players Association, Players Union shouldn't like that. They should. This would say, hey, can you get 6 innings and limit damage along the way? Because that's going to be huge if that means we get to keep our DH the whole game, right? So people hate new stuff. People take the worst version of what They are what might be the change, and they forget about what the goal is. I think the goal here, what Major League Baseball is looking to accomplish, I fully endorse and agree with. You have to test all this stuff. You have to get everyone on board. You have to make sure the players are going to be actually healthier and there's no faults. And there might be a ton of faults and ton of bad stuff from this.
Well, yeah.
But I am happy that they're addressing it and at least looking into it because I love the shift.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you love the new rules, Jomboy. And I'm sure you love that they're looking into this, which is like stupid on its own. Here's the main point to all this, is that if your starting pitcher, like he's not even talking about like, hey, a mandatory minimum innings minimum for your number 5 starter. He's not talking about number 5 starters. He's talking about all starters, all of them. If your number 1 starter can't go more than 6 innings, you're already taking a penalty. Do you not realize that? It should be taxing on your fucking bullpen, right? It's super taxing. That should be super taxing on your fucking bullpen. That these guys have to come in for your number 1 starter. Your fucking workhorse is the guy coming out in 6 innings, and your bullpen's taking care of the rest. Like, yo, what are you gonna do on day number 2? Or we have like 6 games in 7 days. What are you doing then? Is your bullpen going to cover everyone who can't go fucking 6 innings? So this rule is stupid on its face. If your starters can't go 6 innings minimum, you're already taking a penalty. Guess what? If you stack bullpen people, like let's say you say, like, okay, let's take 1 or 2 less pinch hitters, pinch runners, substitute fielders, whatever the fuck, right? Let's say we take those guys out and replace them with fucking bullpen guys as far as your roster number, right? 25 man on a roster. Is that the same rule, Anthony? I hope so. That's the same rule? 25 man on a roster, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the same rule, and you say, we'll take less pinch hitters, pinch runners, pinch fielders, whatever the fuck. Take less of those for more relievers. Guess what? You have less hitters in your lineup as far as like dealing with lefty-righty matchups, right? Or important points of the game where you need a pinch runner who can run fast, like Dave Roberts. Remember that shit with Boston? Yeah. How important that fucking guy was. Like, yeah, you're losing guys like that for the sake of having more relievers to take care of your 5-inning, 6-inning pitchers. Thus, you're taking that. That is a penalty on its own. But for some reason, they're not taking that way. If they're even thinking about this rule, that means they're not looking at it that way. They're looking at it like, whoa, fuck. I went on Baseball Reference and Roger Clemens threw a bunch of 7-inning, 8-inning games. Look at Kurt Schilling, 7-inning, 8-inning games. Pedro, 7-inning, 8-inning games. What the fuck's happening? Let's make a mandatory rule. Those are for idiots. Those are dum-dums who don't fucking play the game, don't know the fucking game. If they came up with that shit, that's actually incredible. That's dumb shit. That's absolutely dumb shit. I don't know what do I compare that to? What do I actually compare that to in sports? Fuck. Okay. Say you have star players, right, in the NBA. And let's say they're only playing 50 games a season, right? They're doing what do they call it? Like rest. What do they call it? There's like a word for it.
Load management.
Load management, right? They're doing load management. But guess what? If they're only playing 50 games out of 82, that is a penalty, right? You're missing the star player for 30 fucking plus games. That is the penalty itself. You don't need to make a rule about it. You're missing LeBron James or Joel Embiid for fucking 30 plus games. That is the penalty itself. But for some reason, these fuckers don't see it that way. Apparently, everyone's interchangeable in baseball. There's no like legit super duper motherfuckers that are that you cannot exchange for, except for like Otanis and like a few Acuñas and like a few players like that, right?
Very few.
But apparently, the rest of the roster is interchangeable, which should not be the case in professional sports, man. You should not be able to be like easily replaced by anyone. There's a reason why you're here. Good.
Well, the league has like a leadoff problem, a leadoff hitter problem too.
What does
So
that
you
mean?
don't
What does
have
that
table,
mean?
you don't have table setters. You don't have people that can get on base for high average. Because everybody wants to be a four hitter, hitting, swinging for the fences.
Yeah. Well, we all
Because
need Kyle Schwarber there. You know, hitting leadoff. Need it.
well, because the pay structure is the same for everybody.
God damn, man.
If you hit, it's all that stupid OPS game too, bro. That game is real stupid, bro.
What, playing fantasy baseball with real players? Crazy,
Yeah,
right?
or like if a guy's a singles hitter, he's worth less than a guy that hits 25 home runs and strikes out 180 times. Somehow that works. I don't know how that works, but somehow
You
that makes
need,
sense.
yeah, you need like I don't know. Even Gold State didn't really do this with basketball, right? But they're like homegrown players that became a dynasty. They added KD, right? But that's like
Yeah.
the other guys are homegrown. They added a free agent, which pushed them over the top, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, is that what needs to happen? Do we have like an actual balanced lineup of hitters and players? Maybe you add a big bat here or there, but the rest of the lineup is organic, like you homegrown, raised, and then boom, that is it put over the top and they become like a dynasty type of thing. Is that what's needed? I guess in baseball for these
I
dum
don't,
dums.
you would need one rogue organization that's like, nah, man, we're done with this shit. Let's go back to how things were.
But they have to be successful, right? They have to be like,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, that's just the first phase. Yeah, they have to go rogue, and then they have to be successful, and then they have to keep that core around
yes, it has to
and
actually pay
continue
off.
and like literally just shit on the league for years and years and years.
Yes, they were like, wait a minute, how come their guys throw fucking 7 innings every time?
Your guys are throwing 7 innings. The relievers throwing multiple innings, which is unheard of. Uh, they have guys at the top of the lineup who are not swing and miss, and are speed demons that get on base a lot, get hits, start rallies. That's why I wanted you to play the Francesa shit. Francesa's like rallies are not the same. You don't see like you'll never see those Yankee lineups where they're killing you 1,000 cuts by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
A Texas leaguer over here, a dying quail over there. This guy walks. Like you don't see that anymore.
Yes.
Where it's like it's not. No one's waiting for a home run. It's just like you can't stop these hitters from. The lineup just keeps turning over and over. You can't stop them.
Yes, and they fucking feed off each other, and they just keep going and going. Like,
Yeah. That synergy is not in baseball anymore.
no, it's clearly not.
It it's literally it's one of two things. It's a bloop or a walk and a blast. That's baseball now. Literally, it's a bloop and a walk and a blast. And
Holy fuck.
those blasts are few and far between.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine starting pitchers getting taken out of the games because they have a bad game? Oh my god, whoa, whoa, what fucking Twilight Zone is that? Like, oh my god, he had a bad game, that's why we're taking him out. Instead of like, well, his arm might break in the next inning, so let's get him out of here. Like, instead of that, it's like actually like he had a bad game, so we're taking him out. Can you imagine that? Like, oh, these guys had his number, so let's get him out of here.
Yeah.
Golly, man. Even the sense of competition gets fucking destroyed with these things. It's fucking crazy. But all right, whatever. I'm gonna end it there, man. Not the same sport I grew up with. I sound like an old fogey. Forgive me, but it is what it is, man. It's not the same shit that I remember, man. Really is not. I've been on protests with baseball this whole season, bro. It's like, nah. I've seen them rush kids up. I've seen some of their at-bats where they rush kids up to the major leagues because they're dying for star power. They're dying for it. Bring up
yeah,
Matt Holliday's
yeah.
kid, bro. Bring him up. Let's see what he does.
Yeah.
You're dying for this shit.
He works out 5 times. All right, he goes back to the minor leagues.
Well, and if they bring up a random who throws 102 miles an hour, like, so it's like, what are we doing?
And he'll get put back to the minor leagues too.
So, like, what are we doing at this point? It is what it is. Sorry, Jomboy. Sport that you have some sort of sophistication is not what it is, man.
And now, like, their boogeyman has arrived with these RSNs, the regional sports networks. Like, yeah, your boogeyman's here, but the fucking what's that shit called?
What?
The hangman's here, bro.
The man from the gallows coming up to string necks up.
He's coming to fucking give the last blow. Where like you guys are not gonna start taking. You're not gonna increase salaries. You're gonna decrease salaries.
Yeah.
You're there. You're in that. You're fucking muddy in the waters with that territory now.
Here comes the Undertaker. Full garb.
It's going the wrong way. You're going down the cliff.
And they think changing. What do they say? Fucking shifting chairs on the Titanic. Some shit that's just it's just going down, but we're just changing the furniture around and shit like that. Like, yeah.
It's like you're saying, like, oh, it's gonna go down no matter what. And instead of like consolidating what you have, you decided to alienate them and try to find people that were never coming to your side anyways.
Exactly. The people that have held on to your sport, you threw them to the fucking wayside and picked some sort of new generation of like the cool hip kids that like baseball now. Like they're not there for that. Like they're not there. Sorry. Like what do we do with that? What highlights can you show these kids that are gonna like make sense to them? Maybe a curveball here and there. Like, oh wow, what a nasty curveball. But do they have they touched a baseball to understand like what it feels like? Like, how do you make this object curve like that? That was like part of the amazement.
It's to the point where I'm like, yo, I'm starting to question, like, yo, who are these little leaguers in the Little League World Series? It's like if I look hard, how many of these kids are like connected? Like that's how. Like you go to a random AAU basketball game and you're like, yo, these guys are fucking killers.
Yes.
It's just more vibrant. Like where the fuck are you gonna go see these little league kids play at?
Other than the Little League World Series, nowhere. When they get to college,
bro.
maybe.
Bro, it's like yo, it's a different animal. Even bro, you go to a fucking Pee Wee football game, bro. This shit is different. Bro. It's different. And dudes are trying to stop kids from playing football. It's still different. There's just an excitement level that's not there with fucking baseball.
You ever see this dude's YouTube channel where he does one-on-ones where it's like receiver versus DB, right? And they do ones over and over and over again. Whoever wins gets like a cash prize or something like that. That shit is exciting looking. It's competitive. These motherfuckers are going to get it, bro. You got ex-pros, you got wannabe pros, you got college kids. These motherfuckers are out there to get it, bro. They're out there to beat their fucking man one-on-one, score a fucking touchdown, or be a shutdown fucking corner. Like, they're actually doing that shit. Where is that element? It's in baseball. It is there in baseball, but do we see any of that shit? Do we see the element, like the guy, that one pitcher guy versus, like, no, bro, he can't throw too many pitches because, he'll be, we don't want to get him hurt before he goes to the pros, you know? And, like, the hitter, like, I don't know, man. Like, where is that shit? Where's that competitive element? Where is it? I don't fucking know.
It's not there, bro. The entertainment. It's entertainment, bro. The entertainment's not there, man.
It's wreckage, man. It is what it is with baseball. All right. There's our reaction to Jomboy bringing up this idea of 6-inning minimums. Possible rule change for Major League. I don't think they'll do it, like he said, and like I guess David Sampson said as well. I don't think that's likely, But if they did, I guess it would make sense considering the trend they've been on. It's a stupid idea. 6 innings is already a penalty for your team. If your starter's only going 6 innings, that should already be a problem. But whatever. Here's where we're at. There's our reaction. Enjoy it.